every day is survival. If you're with the wrong crowd, you get into fights, you get into trouble. Prison life is very much about bullying each other. So you got to be with the right bully, otherwise they bully you. It's a real sentence. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be, real sentence, but whoever says prison is easy is lying.
How much of that danger did you experience directly? Were you threatened yourself, verbally, physically?
As I said, every day is a fight, but I had 2 occasions. Once with a Scottish prisoner, I can't obviously name his name, in HMP Wandsworth, who wanted to involve me in a fight with the wardens. And then a real serious one at HMP Huntercombe, where a prisoner threatened to kill me, to slit my throat, because I talked to him the wrong way, and I spotted him maybe doing something he shouldn't be doing. So I had a harsh reality of prison, what prison can be like. Fortunately, I had a couple of inmates that were protective and that looked after me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the safety and conditions in UK prisons on this programme, Boris, and obviously you've experienced it firsthand. You saw this danger and these threats daily, a couple of incidents involving you directly. Can we talk about the safety aspect? Did you feel safe in prison? Because you actually mention in your book, you say in Wandsworth, the wardens are in charge until they weren't. How safe did you feel in the UK prison system?
You think that mine was a white-collar crime, as they say, but my next door cell neighbor, he was a murderer. Or opposite, there was a pedophile, and on the right there were people smugglers and serious drug dealers. So everyone is together. So naturally, there's frictions. I mean, another huge importance in prison is religion. Which God you believe in, or you don't believe at all, or whether you're white or you're black. But they all put everyone together, so naturally, within the first day, everything goes off.
Recently, the UK government announced that it was going to give thousands of stab vests to wardens. Now you're on the outside looking in. Do you reflect on your time in there and see the vulnerability of those that were there to protect you? As you said, in the grand scheme of things, just a handful of them looking after thousands of dangerous inmates in many cases.
Look, I think the wardens need to be more protected. There need to be more of them. Prison life is very difficult for the wardens and the prisoners. There's huge responsibility on them. They have to deal with us on a daily basis, and not everyone is nice or educated. So it's a tough job, and I think they need to be more protected.
Yeah. Something else you were very open about was the drug use you saw. It was prevalent in prisons. It was commonplace. Did that shock you?
I didn't know you pretty much could get everything inside. Talking about the drugs, talking about small phones, talking about food and whatever you wanted, even a bit of alcohol on the weekends. So that shocked me. It depends of your influence. It depends on your network on the outside. And the most common drug inside was called spice. I mean, I've never heard it before, but many prisoners are high on spice, and you see them on the weekends, and then they form their own group. So I mean, everyone knows that once you're inside, everyone knows who's doing what. It's just a lot of people choose to look away.
You stayed strong in there by keeping your head down, and as you said, finding allies in prison, men that you thought you would never in the real world, as it were, form alliances with, dangerous men in many aspects. But you do talk about the mental health aspect of prison, and you talk about the fact that there are eating disorders in prison. There is self-harm. What did you learn about the mental health aspect of a prisoner inside?
Look, if you're mentally not strong enough, you're not going to make it. So you have to find ways to overcome, anxiety, your frustrations, the loneliness, the solitude at night, and the length. Some of these long timers, as we call them, 10 or 15 years. Yes, they've done their crime; they must serve their time. But it's. I mean, what do you do, after so many years? And there's another thing that people say, that once you are a certain amount of years inside, they say 8 to 10, prison never leaves you even on the outside. because life is brutal. Again, we shouldn't be complaining because we've done something wrong. But then once you're stuck inside, there is not much you can do. So mentally, you have to find ways to occupy yourself. Mine was sport, and mine was stoicism. It's a philosophy. I was a student. I became a teacher. That gave my days a bit of purpose and a bit of sense and a bit of income. You earn about £15 a week, and if you get another job or two, it's another £1 or £2 a day, in order to buy some food and some stuff on the weekend. So it's survival of the fittest, literally.
As a foreign national, you ended up serving a majority of your time in a prison for foreign nationals in Oxfordshire, HMP Huntercombe. You were given the option under the early release scheme that had recently come in to serve less time in prison if you agreed to be deported. You jumped at the chance. And in your book, you talk about discussions you have with other foreign national inmates about why they too wouldn't jump at the chance. What were some of the reasons they gave you? Because for you, this was a chance to cut your prison sentence short, be released and be able to go to your home country or another country.
Well, first of all, my home country is called Germany. It's not called Afghanistan, Syria, Pakistan or Iran. I wouldn't want to go back there either. And they said, I have my livelihood in the UK. I was born and raised here. I have children. I have a life. I don't even speak the language of these countries. My barber for a while, he was from Palestine. And he said, Boris, why would I want to go back to Palestine? I'd be dead within the first week. So that's the reason they won't accept that, because they would be dragged to the wrong country. Germany, I got lucky.
The downside, of course, is that you're now not allowed back into the UK, having been deported. As you say, it's a place you consider home, the UK, for personal reasons and for professional. Your reflections on that and how you're working, I would imagine, to be able to return at some point.
I'd love to. I love the UK, in particular London. 2 of my children are born in London, so I feel sort of as a Londoner. The All England club, Wimbledon, is for me the best club in the world, and I've done so many things in that club. So I'd love to come back into SW19 as a guest, as a friend, because it was such a long time, a very part of my life. And then, Wimbledon is so strongly connected with the rest of my life. We wouldn't be talking here if I wouldn't be a Wimbledon champion. So I'm working closely with the Home Office. I'm working closely with the Minister of Justice, and they say your case is very complicated and unique. And I go, welcome to the club.
Well, Boris Becker, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for talking to us about your memoir, Inside. We really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.